Reddit, what secret are you dying to get off your chest? I fricked up the promotional posters of a well-known martial arts film by editing its Wikipedia article with incorrect character names before it came out. The company in charge of the posters was incompetent enough to use Wikipedia as its source for the names of the characters. Hahaha, that's kinda amazing. More their fault than yours, I'd say. My son's 39th birthday is next Monday. He's been a gigantic Simpsons fan since the show debuted. I got a custom-made Simpson-themed portrait of him, his wife, and his daughter, plus their 2 dogs, Simpson-fied. They're sitting on the Simpsons couch, and when I showed it to his sister, she freaked out about how good it came out. I simply can't wait to give it to him and see his face. I don't feel close to some people in my life, and I've known them for 10+ years. Like, I don't know what to talk about with them anymore. You know? I'm sure they feel the same way. We don't talk that often. Makes me sad sometimes. I feel like a lonely wolf again. People grow apart sometimes, and that's okay. Sounds like maybe it's time to meet new people. I don't love all but one of my siblings, and I have enough baggage from my parents to fill an airport. I just pretend I don't because I can't get away from them yet, and they're intolerable to be around if they think even the smallest thing is wrong. It's okay to hate your family, man. Terrible thing to say, but it's true. I don't love my nephew yet. People seem to instantly fall in love with babies. But as I held his 2-day-old baby, I felt absolutely nothing for him emotionally. I mean, I care for him and all, but just feel nothing. It was the same for my 2 nieces when they were born. I felt nothing for them until they were about 3 months old, and they could remember my face and would actively look for me, remember me. Now I can't imagine my life without those 2 girls, and I love them to death. It kinda makes me feel like a crappy uncle for not instantly loving these kids from the moment I first met them. That's definitely not unusual, and it is definitely not a statement about you or your love for your nephews. What matter is, I can't imagine my life without those 2 girls. I tell people that my mom taught Jay-Z at Trenton High School. I mean, it's possible and likely, but I have no actual proof. Hahaha, this is the best one so far. For a long while I've been generally apathetic about most things, like feeling anything other than nothing is too much effort. I had pretty much accepted that's just how I was now, but recently, not even orgasms feel as good anymore, and it's starting to concern me a little. Sounds like depression, man, should speak with your doctor. My ex and I were both suicidal in high school, and there were times I considered picking them up to go for a drive and driving us off a cliff. I never said anything about it to anyone, never tried it, never came close to acting on it. That was a long time ago. Glad you never did, and I hope you're feeling better. I don't like my parents, and I am on the verge of hating them too. I am scared of their obsession about me, especially since I'm an adult already. I'm terrified my future partner will be similar to them, and that I will pick up a partner with patterns similar to them. I'm terrified I will never have a healthy relationship because the obsession I faced included sexual harassment too. I feel guilty for hating them, I guess, but I pretend we're good. Every day I pretend we are happy because I feel bad for them. I found out my dad is not my biological father. My dad died last year. After that I took this DNA test because it would be fun to find more about my dad's family. Well, instead I got 50% match with a man I don't know, suggesting that he is my father. I haven't yet contacted him or confronted my mom. I don't know what to do with this information. A dad and father are 2 different things. A dad is the one who saw over you with love. A father is a person on paper. Since COVID hit, my life has been on perpetual replay. Work, watch baby, laundry, dishes, sleep a little, repeat. Well, lately I've been having days where I just hate having my wife and kids around. I just pretend I'm okay and everything's fine, but yeah, inside I'm just like, frick, I'm sick of doing this crap every freaking day. Since I escaped an abusive relationship, I've tried a lot, and I mean a lot of relationships, but truth is, even if I feel attraction at first and I can show care, love, attention, etc., it feels fake. Deep inside I don't feel a crap besides being mildly frisky and get bored of the relationship faster than with some games. I'm really tired of this. I'm the opposite. I still feel way too much even after being in abusive relationships. I fall so freaking hard and have my heart broken every time. Since the last heartbreak, I've lost hope though. IDK if it'll ever happen. If love is even for me, maybe it's nothing but a fantasy to hopeless romantics such as myself. I'll go first I guess. My mom is cheating on my dad and has been for a while now. She doesn't know I know and I don't know which of them to tell. Or if I should just ignore it and stay out of their business. Although it's their business, it still affects you. Find someone to confide in and it will normalize any feelings you have about the situation. Whether it's family, general practitioner, or a teacher, it doesn't matter as long as it's someone you can trust. I have already been vaccinated. First dose only, but I haven't told anyone because I don't want people to start making plans socially with me. I'd rather stay home. There was recently a all are welcome here yard sign on Facebook Marketplace with the giver saying I don't really want company. I talk a lot and can have conversation with mostly anyone, but I feel so freaking stressed and awkward and I hate to talk with people beside a couple of persons. People tell me I'm in a bad day and all when I don't, but I just don't like talking to people I don't know very well. I've been getting molested by my little cousin ever since we were little. It started as him wanting to kiss me and my other little cousin under a cover, but she said no and I've always wished I had to, but I was like YTF not, and I kissed him. Now I'm scared of going to visit my relatives in case it happens. He once wouldn't leave the bathroom cause I wouldn't kiss him and essentially locked the door. My little cousin had to go get an adult to make him open it. I don't know what to do and I'm scared to open up about it because his mother doesn't do anything and won't let his father do anything to him either already, and I'm scared they will treat it like another bad thing he does that they brush off and tell the family to handle. I'm so freaking sorry you're living through this. Tell your doctor, teacher or school counselor. They legally have to take it seriously. I'm tired of life. I have a happy family, an amazing girlfriend, an amazing home, but this year I just don't feel like living anymore. I can't enjoy things. I can't feel much anymore. I don't want to do anything and I just don't know. Something I saw that helped me. You don't want to die. You just want your life as it is to be over. It is change that you want, not death. Work toward a goal to change your situation. The suggestion of therapy is a great place to start. Hope this helps. That I feel like I have major deficiencies in memory, like my brain stops working and stops registering. It feels like how dyslexia and ADD is shown in films. My psychiatrist has not made any headway into why this is, and honestly he doesn't even try to. It has always been there and I don't know if there is anything to diagnose there, but it has gone progressively worse since 2017 when I was actually diagnosed with severe depression, anxiety, social phobia, suicidal tendencies, anger disorder and OCD. I don't tell this to anyone because I already feel like a failure and I don't want people to think I am making excuses for my laziness, which is not laziness but times of when my brain refuses to function properly. Would have offed myself long ago if I didn't feel an ingrained sense of duty towards my mother and sister. I had the exact same problem. It felt like my brain was falling apart. I couldn't concentrate or remember anything. I've always been kind of anxious, but it spiked after I had a really bad flu one year. Turns out I was depressed and had severe anxiety. I didn't realize how bad it was until I went on the medication. It was controlling my life. Depression and anxiety tend to go hand in hand. I'm terrified my husband will realize that I'm so not worth all the effort he puts into our relationship and taking care of me. I've got a chronic illness and he's had to add taking care of me to his plate on top of already being a wonderful husband and father. I haven't cut myself in about 2-3 years now, and I'm doing a lot better than before, but I still feel crap from time to time and I can't believe how hard it is not to hurt myself. Like, when crap gets overwhelming I push my nails in my arm or bite my finger hand, and sometimes it makes me feel like I'm not doing better at all. When my sister and I were kids, she had a doll she loved that my stepmother donated. My stepmother apparently asked her permission and my sister agreed because she was only 4 and was being coerced into it by our stepbrothers. She adored that doll and cried for months about it. My sister is now 26 and is 8.5 months pregnant with a baby girl, so I tracked down one of those dolls on eBay and sent it to her. If all goes well, it should arrive about a week after the kid is born. I once stole a book from the book fair at my school. It was being held in our school library, but it leaked out into the hall of the school. I didn't have enough money to buy it, so in one fell swoop I unzipped my backpack quietly and put it in, zipped it up and walked away in about 3 seconds. School had just gotten out and the lady who was in charge of the whole thing was working with the cash register right behind me. I've never gotten away with something that clean since. Wasn't even a book I wanted to mayo. I did something similar. Put a book under the book I was checking out that was bigger and held it so the librarian couldn't see my thievery. My first and last Scholastic book fair acquisition. It was so smooth and I've never succeeded since. But I also don't want to try, haha. I'm going to die alone. I reached such a high state of inner peace and passivity that it just doesn't bother me that no one is with me. Throughout the years I need less and less to interact with anybody unless necessary, to the point that I consider sleeping throughout a whole day a day well spent. Sleeping all day is a sign of depression. Everybody can stand to go see a counselor of some kind, so be sure to do so. Unfortunately, the human species is a social species, and those with the best social networks have the best health and survival outcomes, so make friends. Well, I don't have anything else to get off my chest since I've made a new friend on Reddit who is really open with me and lets me tell them all my problems. They really try to make me feel better, but a few days ago this would have been great for me. But now I found a really kind person and I'm finally happy. I'm really glad to hear that. I genuinely do not want a good career. I am so tired of being the smart kid. I wish I could just work in McDonald's or be a garbage dude or just any job that requires repetitive motion but no problem solving skills. If I could live securely driving a school bus, I would do it happily for the rest of my life. Despite acting like it during the retelling of the story, I actually have no remorse for almost killing a guy who attacked my brother and actually derive a large amount of pleasure from the memory. That sounds like a totally reasonable reaction, tbh. I'd probably keep it secret too though, haha. Another thing is that this pandemic is turning me into a creature of shadows. I haven't slept in 2 years, I hiss at sunlight, I'm most active at night, and I can't stop thinking about how I'm gonna die. I mean, that's probably contributing. Need to schedule time out of the house. Fake it for the kids, man. As a widow, I want to viciously slap married people who treat their spouses like crap. Why do you still get your spouse and chose to be in butthole to each other? What did my husband, who I loved and adored, and he loved and adored me back after, die while 2 ungrateful piles of crap just go around making sure they ruin their spouses' days? I think I'm bi. I'm attracted to men and women near equally at times, which means I probably am, but in some kind of denial or something. I have a wife and kids, and don't plan on any kind of cheating. I'll likely die without having explored it. I'll die without exploring other women outside of my wife as well. Why tell people and stress everyone out? A friend that I loved, as a family friend, not romantic at all, kissed me, like a lot. During a sleepover. It was very nice and all to be touched and all, and I thought it would only be a fun experience to eventually forget. That friend was a friend since we both were kids, and had in common other friend, being the 2 people that I trusted the most. After that night they almost totally ignore me. At least that friend. The friend in common at least kinda speaks to me. But I tried a lot of times to reach out. Tried to plan to see each other, obviously under the restriction safe zone, but all the times I was left unseen. I feel alone now. I wasn't even the one who kissed her in the first place. I guess it's my fault because I didn't reject it or something like that, but I'd like to at least have a closing conversation to know that they don't want to speak to me any longer instead of be ghosted like that. The worst part of that I'm not mad at. I still love them both like friends, so the only thing I can feel for all of this is confusion. I'm really sorry you're dealing with this. Nothing really to do but wait it out. Perhaps your friend is confused about their own feelings and is scared to talk more. Either way, I'd stop reaching out and let them come to you. You might have to accept never getting proper closure on this, as terrible as it is. I suffer from sometimes debilitating PTSD. While my wife is aware that I have PTSD, she has no clue how bad it can get. I hide this from her because I don't ever want her to see me as less than Superman. I hide the extent of it from the VA. I am currently rated as having mild PTSD with the VA because I don't want the federal government to keep records of it for fear of future mental health legislation. Irrational fear or not? Make another account just so this stays a secret. I'm drowning and I feel so alone. For the first time in my life, I'm failing a class in school. Nobody knows. I went from valedictorian to this. I'm falling behind and it is so hard to catch up. I can't reach out to my counselors or teachers because I've always been the smart, diligent one. I don't have the courage to ask for help. I don't know what I want to do with my life. Law, CS, finance, careers, college. It all seems so big and elusive. I realize I truly have no passions. Hobbies? Kinda, but nothing I would ever pursue. I've talked to classmates who are getting internships and touring schools for things like music therapy and the arts, and in the past, I would have internally scorned them for doing something so useless, but now I just feel jealous that at least they have something they truly enjoy. That they have the courage to step beyond society's standard of success. I've always been the golden child, but I've been put so high up on a pedestal that it's just assumed I will always stay there. My parents can't see that I've fallen and am drowning below because they just know that I will always be fine. You are always so responsible. Number. I'm not. I know I can always count on you. Number. You can't. I'm still a teenager. A child, some would say, and I need guidance in life, but you are too busy with my sister's issues to see mine. You drag me in and make me her third parent. I am still a kid, too. I can't resent her for that. Her issues are much more immediate than mine. She is the best thing in my life. But I feel so alone. My friends would never understand. They think my life is perfect. They say, OMG, I love your dad. He is so funny. Haha, your sister is so cute. Wow, your mom is so cool. Number. My family is falling apart at the seams. Fights are daily. I feel so alone, but everyone is moving on with their life. I don't where to go, so I'm just faking till I make it. Keeping a smile on my face. Let them all think it's okay. You can only fake it for so long, I think, man. Can't recommend therapy enough. Thanks for sharing. Hope things turn around for you. 2 weeks ago my doctor told me I'm in the early stages of glaucoma. I'm an artist. I cannot imagine losing my vision. If it comes down to that, I've already decided I won't live without my sight. I'm not trying to be all dramatic and I'm not even emotional about it. I just don't want to live if I cannot see or paint ever again. Keeping my autism from my dad. He already doesn't like me and hardly talks to me. This would just be something extra that would make him dislike me more. I didn't grow up how he wanted me to, and this is just another example of that. My best friend tried to kill herself. And it's been horrible for her close friends and family, but selfishly I'm mad that her parents expect me to look out for her when that's what I've been trying to do for over 3 years. No matter how much I tried to be there for her and help, she still wanted to die, and it pisses me off. Not on you. It sucks that your friend is going through crap and that her parents expect you to do something about it. Truth is, this is a battle that your friend has to deal with it. Do the best you can. I'm unsure if I want my birth dad in my life. He's just like me, or I am just like him, but his thinking is so backwards and extreme in some aspects. He's not a bad guy, I am just not sure. I got hurt by my birth mom when I met her, and I've known birth dad longer than when I met her, but I am still expecting something. He says I am needy, but he lives out on the west coast. What could I ever need from him? That doesn't sound like someone you need in your life. Some days I wish I could just be a useless stoner. Get fat from eating utter junk all day. Do nothing more productive than play video games, bass guitar, and go for nature walks. Basically, some days I wish I was 17 again. I adore my kids and enjoy my life, but there are days when I'm just so tired from the weight of responsibility. I'm too scared to break up with my girlfriend for several reasons. 1. I'm not in a good place mentally, and I fear my mind is clouding my judgment. 2. She has no idea and it would crush her. 3. It's hard and expensive to find a decent place to live alone. I know the last 2 makes me a horrible person. No need to add to the hate towards me. I'm self-sufficient of hatred. Take it from someone who postponed the breakup for the 3 reasons you mentioned. among others. The longer you put it off, the harder it gets, and the guilt will eat at you. You are not a horrible person. You are human, and the brain is wired to keep us in familiar and comfortable pulses, despite not being happy there. I'm absolutely in love with my best friend. It's killing me keeping this from her, but she has a boyfriend and I can't risk our friendship. One of the best things I did was tell my best friend I was in love with her, not because we fell in love and wound up happily married together. She rejected me, but it provided closure and I could move on. I lost a really good friend, and if that's okay, some friendships aren't meant to be long term. For a year now, I've been consistently working my butt off for losing $400 that my brother lost. I decided to take it for him because I owed him a favor. But if I had known he wasted it on drugs, I would have just threw him under the bus. And I'm still considering it. Dude, I really hope he cleans up. Best of luck throughout the process. There are professionals who can help you, the family and him. If he's stealing $400 for it, then I'd say it's getting pretty serious. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.